Heavenly Father, thank you for bringing us here safely. I ask you to touch those who are coming on their way. Heavenly Father, I ask you to bless the proceedings of today, that it will go as planned. I ask you to bless the youth of Jamaica, all those who have participated in this competition and those who will be awarded today. I ask you to bless them, oh God, as we continue to enhance the youths of Jamaica through spreading science throughout Jamaica, so that many youths will come on board and become scientists and be in the science field as we continue to evolve through excellence. I ask you to bless those who are on their way, that will fasten their footsteps, that they will arrive here safely and on time. Cover us under your blood. In Jesus' name I pray.
Distinguished guests, members of the SRC family, sponsors, awardees, especially invited guests, and listeners, persons tuning in on the live stream and on the airways, welcome, welcome, welcome. Now, I'd like to thank Mr. Daniel Campbell for that opening prayer. He's the Public Relations Officer at the School Science and Technology Society for the SRC. So thank you very much. Persons on our live stream would have heard the prayer much earlier. Now, my name is Brittany Clark, and I have the distinct honor of being your moderator for today's session. We are here for the Essay, Oratory, Performing Arts, and Poster Competition Awards ceremony, right? And this is the 2021-2022 staging under the theme, Sustainable Development, Safeguarding Jamaica's Future. Now, I'd just like to say thank you all for coming out, persons who are here with me, persons joining on the live stream. We are streaming from St. Peter and Paul's Church Hall, and of course, it's Friday, March 4, 2022. Now, I'm happy to be here. I hope everybody else is excited as well, because we're going to be celebrating excellence, right? As I said, it is the Essay, Oratory, Performing Arts, and the poster competition, and we have a long list of awardees and a very packed and exciting program for all of you who are here with me and on the live as well. Now, at this time, I'm going to invite Mrs. Marcia Henry, who is the Acting Divisional Manager in the Information Services Division at SRC, and she will bring the greetings and opening remarks. Now, as she makes her way, I'll read her profile. Mrs. Marcia Henry is known and loved for her warm personality and leadership, and her expertise in project management and development. She has served the Scientific Research Council in a number of capacities, such as Projects and Quality Systems Manager, Head of the Project Management Unit, and now the Acting Divisional Manager of the Information Services Division here at SRC. Now, can I get a warm welcome for Mrs. Henry, please?
Thank you, Brittany. Good afternoon, everyone. On behalf of the Board of Directors, management, and staff of the Scientific Research Council, or SRC for short, welcome to what promises to be an exciting celebration of our winners in this year's Essay, Oratory, Poster, and Performing Arts competition. Welcome to all our special guests, which include our winners, judges, our special keynote speaker, our sponsors, our partners in the education sector, members of the SRC team, and to those who are listening to Empress Golding on Nationwide FM. Let me hear you make some noise, everybody! Yay! It's celebration time, come on! Yes, let's celebrate. Over the years, this SRC, through strategic partnership with our schools and science teachers in particular, has been leading the charge of making science fun for our students. Science does not have to be complicated and mysterious as long as we communicate it in a way that the children can understand, right? Right, teachers? So we know the importance of using the arts to help our students grasp the concepts in the various science subjects and to effectively learn as science students. So our annual Essay, Oratory, Performing Arts, and Poster competition is one such program which is geared at engaging primary, secondary, and tertiary level students through the arts on science and technology-related issues in Jamaica. We seek to harness the energy, creativity and initiative of Jamaica's youth in popularizing science and promoting a culture of growth and sustainable development. We want to inspire our society to learn from our young minds and to think about how each of us can make a difference in the world. So this year's staging of the essay, oratory, poster, and performing arts competition was held under the theme, Sustainable Development, Safeguarding Jamaica's Future. It focused on two of the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals, SDG number 6, which speaks to clean water and sanitation, and SDG number 12, which speaks to responsible production and consumption. Our students were encouraged to creatively highlight the critical role and importance of policymakers in these two areas. So over 70 entries across 50 schools were received from Jamaica, and guess what? We got applications from other Caribbean countries as well for the first time. So this is indicating a growing influence of the SRC in the region. We continue to promote a culture of innovation and exploration that meaningfully engages youth through engaging and exciting programs like the essay, oratory, performing arts, and poster competition. Today's award ceremony will highlight the ingenuity, creativity, and intellectual capabilities of our nation's youth. Welcome again, everyone, and I thank you.
All right, can we get another round of applause for Mrs. Henry, please? Let me tell you, no lies were told when they spoke about her warm personality, and we saw that up here as well. And of course, thank you very much for those warm welcome and opening remarks. So of course, we know we are here for the essay, oratory, poster, and the performing arts competition. But for those of you who may not know, you may want a little more information as to what all of this is about, yes? Now at this time, I'll invite Ms. Cavell Hilton, the coordinator for the competition at the Scientific Research Council, SRC. Ms. Cavell Hilton serves as the coordinator of the Science and Technology Education Unit. So please, Ms. Hilton, please make your way to the podium to give the event overview.
Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, sponsors, JIS, teachers, students, and my colleagues. Pleasant afternoon to you again. I hope you're having a great time. I know we are social distancing, but I hope that you are enjoying today nonetheless. All right, so did you know that the Scientific Research Council's Science and Technology Education Unit is actually celebrating 26 years this year? Did you know that? But guess what? The essay, oratory, poster, and performing arts competition is older than STEU. So this essay, oratory competition is actually 31 years old this year. And it is one of the most anticipated programs for students at the primary, secondary, and now tertiary level. Now, as Mrs. Henry noted, science communication, essay, oratory competition, STEM, and STEAM are vital for our nation's success. These competitions actually assist students to develop ideas and suggest suitable solutions that are innovative and that can actually make a difference. All our competitions actually try to coin themes and topics that are relevant to the Jamaican and Caribbean context, allowing students to reflect on how science and technology impact their everyday life and even how they can impact their communities through the application of science and technology. This year, we had several components. So we had the essay and orator competition, and of course, Miss Henry stated the theme earlier. Anybody remember it? Right, sustainable development, safeguarding Jamaica's future. And from the essays submitted, we selected the top 3 essays, right? And of course, you know, students also had the opportunity to compete in the oratory component of the competition. And I watched, and it was good. These students were prepared. They came with their PowerPoint presentations, and even though this particular component was virtual, they really made an impact. We also had the poster competitions, and of course, our judges will tell you later in the judges' remarks how they felt about that, and you know, just how the students really put out their best. No, I don't want to keep you too long, but I just want to say congratulations to all our entrants, and you know, please give them a round of applause. And it must be said that despite the many challenges of COVID-19, not being in school and all of that, many challenges that are being faced by our youth today, you entrants, your competitors, you came out, you put your best foot forward, your teachers supported you, your school supported you, and we have to say congratulations and well done. We realize the vast potential of our youth here at SRC and in the Science and Technology Education Unit, and we will continue to popularize science and technology and continue to create programs like the essay, oratory, and poster competition that will ensure that you have a voice and that you are able to express yourself through the performing arts, through poster, through the oratory competitions, or through our essays. Thank you, and have a great afternoon.
Thank you so much, Ms. Hilton, for giving that competition overview. So as we heard from her, the Science and Technology Education Unit has been around for 26 years, but the competition itself has been around for 31 years. So 31 years celebrating excellence and allowing these young people to express themselves through essay, oratory, poster, and the performing arts. Now, to move along with the program, we have a very special guest here who will be delivering the keynote address, Dr. Ruth Patopsing. Now, Dr. Ruth Patopsing is the Associate Vice President of Sustainable Energy at the University of Technology, Jamaica, where she heads the Caribbean Sustainable Energy and Innovation Institute. She is also an independent consultant in energy and environmental management. A Commonwealth scholar, she holds a PhD in Sustainable Development, an MBA, and an MSc in Urban Development Planning. Now, other related achievements include the preparation and review of the Jamaica National Energy Policy 2010 to 2030, completed by a small team of which she was a part of the review of the energy chapter in Jamaica's Vision 2030 prior to their finalization. She also contributed to 3 of the sub-policies prepared in support of the main energy policy. These were the National Renewable Energy Policy of 2009 to 2030, the Energy Conservation and Efficiency Policy, and the Carbon Emissions and Trading Policy. Her work in the energy sector in Jamaica saw the development of commercial-scale wind energy, paved the way for the advancement of commercial-scale solar PV, energy efficiency and conservation, and the introduction of cleaner transport fuels like unleaded gasoline and ethanol-blended gasoline. Dr. Patopsing's mission is to empower the next generation to be on the cutting edge of innovation and entrepreneurship. Her entrepreneurial endeavors include the conceptualization of the Master of Science degree in Sustainable Energy and Climate Change, which is offered under the Faculty of the Built Environment at the University of Technology, Jamaica. The program is one of a kind in the Caribbean region. Stemming from her passion for outreach, Dr. Pratap Singh continues to be an invited speaker at several local, regional, and international fora on energy and the environment, right? So please give her a big round of applause. She is our keynote speaker for this afternoon. Welcome.
Thank you very much for such an illustrious description of myself. So you will notice that I am in the next generation. So my work has spanned at least 2 generations. Let me say, Madam Moderator Brittany Clark, Mrs. Master Henry, Acting Divisional Manager, Information Services Division of the SRC, staff of the SRC, Science and Technology Education Unit, teachers, parents and student supporters, sponsors, competition entrants and students from Jamaica and the Caribbean, members of the media, listeners, good afternoon. Thank you. I'm really delighted to make this keynote address on the occasion of the Scientific Research Council's annual essay, oratory, performing arts, and poster competition. This event is a culmination of the 2021 competition, which has engaged primary and secondary school students in conversation on science and technology-based issues which impact our country, Jamaica, and the wider Caribbean. And I think we have to applaud the Scientific Research Council for engaging the youth over these many years and inviting them to be part of the conversation on science and technology and demystifying the whole area of science and technology. I'm very pleased to be here this afternoon and to address you because the theme is I'm particularly passionate about this theme, sustainable development, safeguarding Jamaica's future. And one of the reasons I'm so happy to be here, because despite the passion I'm sharing with you, is to see the young faces and a lot of girls, some boys, but I am happy to know that we are crossing the gender barrier in terms of science and technology. So give yourselves an applaud. While we think of the Sustainable Development Goals on a global scale, and fundamental to its principles is peace and prosperity by enabling a better quality of life for all. Because these goals happen to be set for the whole world, it is important that we take action locally, and each country and each individual of all ages and gender has a unique part to play in their achievement. Judging from the over 70 entries across 50 schools in the competition, there are many passionate persons in congratulating the SRC in promoting a culture of innovation and exploration, because it is innovation that is going to take our country off into another level. The science communication workshops that the SRC has put on has helped to build your communication capacity and also contributed to your personal and intellectual growth as science communicators. This initiative will not only impact your peers, but also have an impact on your households and adults in society. So I congratulate teachers and parents and sponsors who have given their remarkable support to the knowledge and understanding of issues on sustainable development. As we all know, over the past 2 years, as the world grappled with COVID-19, its pandemic, many countries fell behind in their development targets as lives and livelihoods and economies were hard hit. And most countries, not all countries, were focused on Goal 3 of the Sustainable Development Goals on good health and well-being. And so some of the other goals were left behind, so to speak. But when we look at the checklist of the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals, no poverty, zero hunger, good health and well-being, quality education, gender equality, clean water and sanitation, affordable and clean energy, decent work and economic growth, industry, innovation and infrastructure, reduced inequality, sustainable cities and communities, responsible consumption and production, climate action, life below water, life on land, peace and justice, partnerships to achieve the goal. We recognize that all 17 goals are interrelated and interdependent. This year's competition focuses on Sustainable Development Goals 6 and 12. Goal 6, clean water and sanitation. Mrs. Henry reminded you of this earlier. This goal not only targets drinking water, sanitation and hygiene, but also addresses the quality and sustainability of water resources, which are critical to the survival of people and the planet. Goal 12, responsible production and consumption. This goal encourages more sustainable consumption and production patterns through various measures, including specific policies and international agreements on the management of materials that are toxic to the environment. But why focus on clean water and sanitation? Did you know that access to water poses the biggest societal and economic risk over the next 10 years? Did you know that? Water is going to be the focus of all of us. And why focus on water? Only 3% of the world's water is fresh, that is drinkable, and humans are using it faster than nature can replenish it. 70% of the fresh water is used for agriculture. Over 80% of wastewater worldwide is dumped untreated into water supplies. Can you imagine what that is doing to our Caribbean Sea and our resources, our coral reefs, our beaches, our fish? Again, 2 million tons of human waste is disposed into watercourses every day. We have to stop this. And why focus on responsible consumption, production and consumption? Did you know that each year an estimated 1/3 of all food produced, equivalent to 1.3 billion tons, worth about $1 trillion, ends up rotting in the bins of consumers and retailers or spoiling due to poor transportation and harvesting practices? Almost 2 billion people go hungry or undernourished worldwide, while an equal number globally are overweight or obese. Should the global population reach 9.6 billion as projected by 2050, the equivalent of almost 3 planets could be required to provide the natural resources needed to sustain current lifestyles unless this generation and the next generations become innovative and create new ways of production and improve our consumption patterns. The food sector accounts for about 22% of total greenhouse gas emissions, largely from the conversion of forests to farmland. And these are some stark facts that we have to bear in mind and remind ourselves why we are gathered here this afternoon and why the work of the SRC and other agencies is so important for us to be having it at the top of mind. So, entrants, you were asked to creatively highlight the critical role and importance of policymakers in making strides towards sustainable development in these areas. And your submissions were inspiring. In doing your research and looking at examples of Jamaica and how clean water and sanitation, for example, affects human health, you would have made the connections with several other goals. And some of these goals, I'll just name some of them, like in the development of sustainable cities and communities, responsible production and consumption, because without clean water, fresh water, we would not be able to survive. Your entries show outstanding grasp of the objectives of the United Nations 17 Sustainable Development Goals and their interrelationships. And most of you sitting here, and maybe you can repeat it with me, are familiar with the Brundtland Commission of the United Nations definition of sustainable development, which was written 35 years ago. That development is development that meets the needs of the present without compromising the ability of future generations to meet their own needs. However, since that definition was made, many scholars have expanded on the philosophy behind that definition. And what is very important about sustainable development is the way we go about implementing our projects and programs in a sustainable way. As we all know, climate change has become the giant, the behemoth, which has complicated the timely achievement of the Sustainable Development Goals. And we can compare this whole situation to a coin. On one side, you have to consider how to mitigate and adapt to climate change, and on the other side, how we can meet the goals of the Sustainable Development Program. Because with unexpected floods, droughts, which we have been experiencing, it is difficult to keep on track. So building resilience in our economy and natural resources and social systems has occupied the minds of governments and citizens alike. And we must all take responsibility to reduce our carbon footprint. Because each sustainable development goal addresses problems, what we're asking and what we're depending on this generation and the next, and your generation in particular, Generation Z and Generation Alpha, is to come up with some innovations and solutions to help us as we work together to make life more bearable on this planet. I challenge you young minds to expand your creative thinking and help to solve the problems. I challenge you to think outside the box and be innovative. Innovation will be key to achieving and surpassing the Sustainable Development Goals. You can even take someone else's idea and make it better. Work in teams, as this will help you to be better problem solvers. Write down your ideas. Seek help from the older generation to evaluate your ideas and to put your ideas into action. I encourage you to read widely and create networks with your peers across the island and in other countries. In this age of super internet communication, and that is one of the reasons why they define your generation as Generation Z and Generation Alpha, is because you're so internet savvy, that you have the possibility to communicate and build networks with other youth across the world and even develop your own businesses using innovative methods as we address these Sustainable Development Goals. I ask you to continue to encourage each other and improve your communication skills as scientists and technologists. You are young, but you have a voice. And I ask you to use your voice, but respectfully. And don't be afraid of being put down by others. No idea is stupid. Don't be put down by or discouraged, but try again. We have heard of Thomas Edison, the inventor of the light bulb. And he has some favorite quotes. I like this one. He said, "I never once failed in making the light bulb. I just found out 99 ways not to make one." So I say to those of the entrants who did not win a prize, continue to try again, because your contribution is valuable. Remember, with God, all things are possible. You each have greatness inside of you. I wish you well, as you are being the change that we need, and you can make the difference, and you are the difference. I thank you for inviting me this afternoon.
Ladies and gentlemen, Dr. Ruth Pratap Singh, I believe she was most fitting as the keynote speaker for today. She delivered some pertinent points, some alarming statistics. In fact, one that stood out to me was the fact that by 2050, we'll need about 3 planets worth to supply Jamaica's energy source, or enough energy to supply the entire planet. I believe that's shocking because, Earth will no longer be enough if we don't take up the sustainable development goals and everything in hand now to solve those problems. So thank you so much, and thank you for the over 30 years of expertise you've delivered in energy, environment, and development planning. Trust me, we see the work that you've done, and of course, thank you for the words of encouragement to our young minds who are really the future and a part of the catalyst for change in order to create that sustainable future for Jamaica. Now, does everybody remember the theme for today? No? Yes? Sure? All right, so let's go over it together. Sustainable development, safeguarding Jamaica's future. Let's say it one more time. Sustainable development, safeguarding Jamaica's future. Right. Now, at this time, we're going to have a quick musical interlude. I'm going to invite Mr. Gabriel Bartley Walters. He's a violinist, and he will be treating us to some excellent musical performance. So while he makes his way, I will read his profile. Now, Mr. Gabriel Walters has achieved the LCTL Performance Diploma from the Trinity College of London, Concert Master of the University of the West Indies Classical and Jazz Ensemble, and the Jamaica Defence Force Combined Orchestra. He has toured internationally to countries including the Dominican Republic, the United States, the United Kingdom, and Canada as part of the Orchestra of the Americas and l'Orchestre de la Francophonie. In 2019, he founded the Acel String Quartet, a classical group that performs across Jamaica. So please make Gabriel Bartley Walters welcome as he delivers his performance. Thank you.
Afternoon. Thank you. One more piece written by a composer from Argentina by the name of Piazzolla, and the name of the piece is Libertad.
Wow, that was nice, right? Yes, woo, I was over there getting chills when you played both songs. So excellent, excellent performance. Thank you so much for that lovely presentation, Mr. Walters. Just to repeat some of his accolades, he has achieved the LCTL Performance Diploma from the Trinity College of London, Concert Master of the University of the West Indies Classical and Jazz Ensemble, and the Jamaica Defense Force Combined Orchestra. And of course, the list goes on as to all the success that he has achieved over time. So please, another round of applause for Gabriel Bartley Walters, violinist. Okay, so to move along with the program, we know that the selection of the awardees could not have been possible without the judges. Now at this time, I'm going to invite Dave Richards, essay and oratory judge, to deliver some remarks as it relates to the 2021-2022 competition. So, Mr. Richards, please make your way.
Thank you, Brittany. Hello, everybody. I hope y'all doing well today. All right, so this year, the 31st year of the Scientific Research Council's essay, oratory, performance arts, and poster competition, there were about 70 entrants, about 30 of whom entered the essay and oratory competition. So this year, the focus had been on the Sustainable Development Goals of the United Nations, and in particular, Goals 6 and 12, which spoke to water and sanitation, and then responsible consumption and production. So there were two rounds of, so the essay and oratory competition was divided into two rounds. First, the essay competition, and then the oratory. Those who were marked higher in the essay competition were matriculated into the oratory competition. So, and in both cases, we did have, as I said before, ages ranging from 10 years up to 22 years old. So clearly that would have been primary, secondary, and tertiary. And we see some of them here. Hello. The essays were marked by a larger variety of individuals, ranging from different industries within and without the SRC, and who had either some background in science or communication or education. And so, yeah, that's where the original set were chosen from. Then the oratory competition was held a couple of weeks ago, and these orations were delivered virtually over Zoom. However, the judges were all together, where we sat together and we decided how we would score each. It's not what you'd be used to when it comes to delivering speeches, for example, because, of course, of COVID, the restriction of presence determined different behaviors in how one would be able to present. A heavy reliance, therefore, on your screen and how you would come across that. At the same time, the general perspective of the judges did have some concerns, in particular with the level of persuasion that was delivered by the students, and the focus in particular on how the arguments were balanced. So from time to time, people were very relevant on the topics they were writing about, but it tended sometimes to be very problem-heavy or solutions-heavy without creating a relevant balance in how we would flow from one to another. The use of language, it was fine. And one reason for this, we could encourage a bit more reading. Clearly, there was some research put into this, as one of the rubrics we relied on was a reliance on data, facts. You had to say where you're getting your information from. And we appreciate that students did this. However, there is also sometimes a bit too much focus on the numbers and not the relevance of the numbers. So all these things would have been required to tie into each other to make a more persuasive, a more based argument, which would have taken the students' work to another level. The rubrics, as we said before, I want to go over what we would have scored on. We would have included relevance, how close you were to the topic, the organization, how did your points flow, and the conclusiveness, did we come to an end? Of course, I had mentioned before persuasiveness. That's a very big thing. Of course, the entire reason of the essay was to, one, focus on the issues that are raised by Sustainable Development Goals 6 and 12, and then how can we improve policies to achieve them. So persuasiveness was a very big thing here. Then the use of language, which would also tie back into persuasiveness. Is the language clear? Is the language appropriate? Is the language communicating, or is it just speaking? It's very easy for us to throw words in there, but it's more important to get the point across. And we do see that there are areas of opportunity here where we could definitely improve on more relevant wording. And of course, for the older students, the tertiary and secondary tertiary students, we would have appreciated the use of referencing. So it's not just a matter of drawing facts and numbers, numbers and data from the air. We have to demonstrate that we're able to properly research and apply what we researched. For those things, there is also room for improvement. To be honest, there were times where you're reading and it seemed as if we found data that was just used to support an argument without enough critical reading and thinking. At the same time, they were used. There are instances where the data did in fact support the argument, and for that we're very appreciative. It does show a level of understanding and an ability to assimilate information. Regarding the oratory competition, I must point out the judges did think overwhelmingly that the primary school students were very good with their delivery. Very good. They were clearly rehearsed, they were clearly trained, and that stood out to us. For secondary and tertiary students, we also realized that there was a heavy reliance on the use of PowerPoint, right? And while that is good, there seemed to be too much reliance on it, so we would have encouraged a bit more style and delivery without the aid being the primary use of communication, primary medium of communication, sorry. However, we must appreciate every entrant. We thank everyone for joining. We thank everyone for doing their research. We thank everyone for envisioning themselves as the winner and doing their best. We really, really, really appreciate it and encourage it even more. One of our judges did remark that it was an improvement over last year, and for that very reason, we'd encourage you to do it again. This was a great opportunity for you to put your mind to paper, and once more, thank you very much. Bye.
Thank you, Mr. Richards. So everyone, I hope you are taking notes, because he not only highlighted the negatives, but he highlighted the positives as well, places for improvement, a lot of areas that, they saw could have used a little more work, and he encouraged everyone to continue. I love that. Thank you very much, Mr. Richards. At this time, we'd like to hear from the Performing Arts and Poster Judge, Ms. Denise Ramarak. Please make her welcome.
Good afternoon, everyone. It's so good that sustainable development, safeguarding the future is our motto for today. I'm here as a member of the Kingston Creative Art Pod. The Kingston Creative Group was asked to offer someone who could work as a judge within this competition, and myself and Miss West Martin were the persons who volunteered, and we're very glad. And overall, we'd like to say congratulations to all the persons who entered in this part of the competition. We had a little under 30 entries. Let me read from my report. Alison West Martin, Danielle Grant, and myself, we were invited to serve as judges for this year's competition. Mrs. West Martin and I attended in person and were accommodated in a spacious room with a large screen monitor and adequate audio facilities. Mrs. Grant attended online via the Zoom platform. Now, I'm going to talk first of all about the performance pieces. The performance pieces, there were only 3 of them. 3 engaging poems, but they suffered from technical difficulties, because that's what we're all suffering from in this COVID time. And I think that this is what affected the overall performance of our applicants, of our competitors. The performance pieces suffered from technical difficulties, but were enthusiastically presented by these artists. We selected from the 3 engaging poems the most relevant to the chosen topic, which was responsible consumption and production, and it was performed by a well-informed and creative young man. We congratulate him. The competitors' posters now, with regards to the poster competition, they were presented to us in 3 sections reflective of the 3 educational levels: primary, secondary, and tertiary. Most of the tertiary and secondary level posters showed a similarity in the use of digital technology. There were very few traditionally drawn works. Some images communicated little to the viewer about either of the 2 goals that we were supposed to present. But most images attempted to address the topic of clean water and sanitation. The tertiary level images were generally unappealing, unfortunately, and the judges were disappointed with the quality of work. Composition and layout were in most images average, but not at the expected advanced level. Use of color was significant in only 1 image, and in general, the level of visual communication was not age appropriate and was equal to that of the secondary level posters. At the secondary level, the work showed an age-appropriate approach to the chosen topics. The posters showed an attempt to address the topics, the goals, via visual communication, but the similarity of the posters was obviously caused by the repeated use of the same icons and images sourced from the internet by those artists using digital productions for their work. So if you use digital technology, you go to the internet first of all. This is what they did. At this level, successful communication was unfortunately mostly achieved via text, not via imagery. Now, as I said, we had about 30 entries. At the primary level, there was one entry. And it was one of the few entries that was traditionally drawn. It adequately expressed one of the cultural norms in the Jamaican society: clothes and items being washed in the river, and the use of the water body as a transporter of waste. So this person was dealing with clean water and sanitation. The artist's solution to this problem was well presented at the cognitive level expected in grade 5. The poster showed a net drawn across the river that caught the refuse, the debris, and the dirt rolling from upstream, and there was a nearby vehicle drawn which was ready to cart it all away. That vehicle was labeled sanitation. After sanitation was successfully completed, the river became a lovely blue source of clean water. And there was a delightful little drawing of a woman who was pregnant with twins, because we could see through her. And she was using this clean, sanitized water which was flowing downstream. This image resonated with the 3 judges as the best in the competition. It was creative, colorful, age-appropriate, and effectively pointed out the value of clean water and sanitation. We congratulate that young artist. It is our hope that in the upcoming months, it will be brighter for our country and the world and its talented young people, and that our country's young people will dig deep into their creative selves and bring out effective visual images and video performances for this competition next year. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Ms. Denise Ramarak. So she was the Performing Arts and Poster Judge. Now, I think what both the judges have in common was a very difficult decision to make when selecting their winners for the different categories. And we could see that it was a very detailed and intensive process. So thank you both for being on the panel of judges to select the awardees and, just joining in congratulating all who were choosing in the respective areas. Now we're going to hear a little bit from another group who was of equal importance, or sponsors. Now this year, the competition was sponsored by EduFocal, Unicommerce/Radio Shack, and Seprod, who have helped to make this award ceremony possible in many, many ways. Now we're going to direct our attention. Please, I invite you to look to the screens, and for persons on the YouTube, it will be displayed. And then I'll invite the representatives from EduFocal and Unicommerce, so in that order, EduFocal first, then Unicommerce, to deliver sponsors' remarks.
Jimmy's struggling, and I just can't seem to find the time to help him.
Is this your reality? Is your child slowing down in school, not adapting to the new normal? Are you too tired after work to help them? Well, here at EduFocal, we just might have the solution for you. EduFocal Plus is an extra lesson service that is geared towards children preparing for PEP. We use expert teachers with strong communication and mentorship skills. Monday to Friday, 4 to 5 p.m. EduFocal is the perfect combination with your child's day school structure. We offer both live and recorded sessions available to your child 24/7. Student report cards are also available so you can track their progress. We want to give your child a head start for 2022. Sign up by visiting our website at edufocal.com and selecting the EduFocal Plus package. At EduFocal, our goal is to make learning fun for your child.
Radio Plus Shop. What we call that? Radio Shop. For tablet, laptops, Bluetooth speakers, check Radio Shop. Smartwatches and headphones, things to your cell phone, check Radio Shop. For trendy technology and gadgets, visit us at our conveniently located branches: Manchester, Montego Bay, Constant Spring Road. Ask about Credit Shack for flexible financing options with up to 36 months to pay. Call us today at 926-2110 for details. Radio Plus Shop. What we call that? Radio Shop. Conditions apply.
Difficulty, but it's on the SRC YouTube channel, so you can always go back and see those sponsors' remarks. So as soon as it's finished, I'll resume the program. Thank you. But in the meanwhile, how is everybody doing? Good? All right, let me ask this side. How is everybody over here doing? Good? Woo! How is everybody over here doing? Great. I love this side, you know. Yes, man. Give yourselves a round of applause, please. All right, so we know that we are here for the essay, oratory, performing arts, and poster competition. So right after the sponsors' remarks are up on the live stream, we'll actually be getting into the nitty-gritty of it to hear the 2022 winners. And of course, we know it's from the primary, secondary, and tertiary levels. All right, so we are back, and welcome back persons on the live stream. You just heard the sponsors' remarks from the EduFocal representative as well as the Unicommer representative. Of course, thank you all as well. Seprod was also a sponsor. Unfortunately, a representative could not be here with us, but of course, we thank them for their contribution nonetheless. So we have a video presentation now to highlight the entries for the competition. Will that one be displayed here? Yes? All right, so we will be looking forward to that in a moment. So that entry highlights will show us, you know, just a few of the entries that were displayed for the 2020-2021. So not this year, but the previous year of the competition.
My name is Mikhail Mego. I am a grade 12 student from Cornwall College, and I am here today to present my oratory presentation on Goal 12, Responsible Consumption and Production.
My name is Marisha Gill. My focus is on Goal 6, clean water and sanitization.
My name is Kalaxa Gordon from the San Diego High School. Sustainable development encourages us to conserve and enhance our resource base by gradually changing the ways in which we develop and use technologies.
My name is Damario Patterson. I'm a student at the University of the West Indies studying law, and it's really my pleasure to be here to be doing this presentation on access to safe water and proper sanitation.
values of responsible production. Let me tell you about the values of responsible production. Listen as me state some of the repercussions. Come let me tell you about the values. If you want to hear, then listen quick. As me explain some of the importances of this topic. Alright, if you want better the economy produce on a lesser scale, then consume goods accordingly and lower the pollution rate. Global warming of we are we. All the resources them are the key. The price of things they want them are inflate and poverty not shape we survive because of fear. Come let me tell you the values of responsible production. Listen as me state some of the repercussions. Come let me tell you the values. If you want to hear, then listen quick. Listen as me explain the importance of this topic.
By extension, the larger Edufocal organization here today. It is truly an honor to be a sponsor at an event such as this that highlights these students' creative approach to achieving sustainable development goals. When approached by the SRC about this event, I was immediately intrigued as it combined two of my personal interests, the arts and the environment, and the way in which they both can intersect to achieve a common goal of awareness and action. So this sponsorship by Edufocal would ensure that the winners of this competition would have access to quality education no matter where they are. This access would mean students have the opportunity to learn and grow from the ease of their home, from their parents' office, a quick trip abroad, no matter where it is, and really work towards their full potential at all times. Now you might be kind of wondering, what does this mean? How does this happen? And what am I really saying? Because it sounds nice, but a little vague. So for those who don't know, Edufocal is an online edtech company in Jamaica that primarily focuses on preparation for the PEP years, which would be grades 4 through 6. And as such, we have a number of resources and programs that get students prepped for PEP. We have a full online day school, we have learning content on our platform, and we also have Edufocal Plus, or live online extra lessons program that these lovely students will benefit from. So Plus is every weekday, 4 to 5, and it focuses on the core PEP subjects. Each class is readily available on the platform, and each class is recorded as well, so students can watch to their heart's content. They miss, they come back, they want to see again, come back, didn't understand something, come back. And we believe that a program such as this really would contribute to a child's development as it exposes them to technology in education, which, as I think we can see for the past 2 years, is a direction that we are channeling full frontal towards ahead, no slowing down. And the earlier we expose our children to certain tools, especially tools that the rest of the world will be partaking in and growing in, I think really the better for them. Outside of that, it will be giving them extra help with their core curriculum. So for those who might not know, PEP actually within science specifically does focus on water, which, as we have learned today, is incredibly important. We had some alarming stats earlier. We are well aware of the need for water. It is a right, it is a necessity, and it is something that if we do not have it, I'm sure everyone here would be absolutely miserable. So with this combination, we really felt that Edufocal, in one or branch of providing learning programs and learning incentives for students, primarily within this age range and this grade range, and then the combination that SRC is focusing on one of these developmental goals that is within subject areas and topic areas that we teach, we found it was an excellent matchup, something worthy, something important, and something absolutely beneficial for our students. All of this would ensure that these students here,
plus many, many others, will strive to be their best to contribute to the nation's development, as I think we can kind of all agree, once you nurture a child, they will in turn nurture the nation. And just up here to say once again, thank you very much to the SRC for inviting us to be a part of this. I'm very proud, and I'm looking forward to furthering that relationship and giving the best towards our students. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Nicola Chambers from EduFocal, bringing remarks on behalf of the sponsors. So thank you for supporting this initiative, and of course, we look forward to your continued support over the years. So we are now in the highly anticipated announcement segment. And of course, we know that it is the oratory, essay, performing arts, and poster competition. I can't stress it enough. And of course, the theme for this year is Sustainable Development, Safeguarding Jamaica's Future. Now, the focus was on the Sustainable Development Goal 6, Clean Water and Sanitation, and Sustainable Development Goal 12, Responsible Production and Consumption. The students were allowed to creatively highlight the critical role and importance of policymakers in making strides towards sustainable development in these areas. So again, we had over 70 entries across 50 schools, and what's remarkable too is that it was not only from Jamaica but from the Caribbean, which means that we're now gone regional. The competition is expanding. This is the 31st year, and we know it will only get bigger and better from here. So without further ado, I will now announce the awardees in the essay and oratory competition segment. So I'll start with the primary school, and I'll have a representative here who will assist with the distribution. So there's a highlight video coming up. Firstly though, so I'll ask you to direct your attention to the screen for the highlight video first, and then we'll have the distribution of the prizes. And this is from the 2020-2021 competition. 21-22 competition.
My name is Mikhail Mego. I am a grade 12 student from Cornwall College, and I am here today to present my oratory presentation on Goal 12, Responsible Consumption and Production.
My name is Marisha Gill. My focus is on Goal 6, Clean Water and Sanitization.
My name is Kalaxa Gordon from the St. Diego High School. Sustainable development encourages us to conserve and enhance our resource base by gradually changing the ways in which we develop and use technologies.
My name is Damario Patterson. I'm a student at the University of the West Indies studying law, and it's really my pleasure to be here to be doing this presentation on access to safe water and proper sanitation.
me tell you about the values of responsible production. Listen as me state some of the repercussions. Come let me tell you about the values. If you want to hear, then listen quick. As me explain some of the importance of this topic. Alright, if you want better the economy produce on a lesser scale, then consume goods accordingly and lower the pollution rate. Global warming of we are we. All the resources them are the key. The price of things they want them are inflate and poverty not share we survive because of faith. Come let me tell you the values of responsible production. Listen as me state some of the repercussions. Come let me tell you the values. If you want to hear, then listen quick. Listen as me explain the importance of this topic. Lower the carbon footprint can reduce by reducing the amount that we producing and practice reusing. Start recycling quick, consumers, please take note. There is only one earth, so please stay woke. The preservation of the earth should be taken seriously. Start by consuming and producing responsibly. Thank you.
Dirty water can make we sick for days, for weeks. That's why it is important. The water we use is clean. We use it for cook. We use it for brush with teeth. We use it for bathe. From a body we take a hold on. Me just realize. Say some uno don't sanitize. Remember say it reduce the risk of contaminating water supplies. You know watch news. Pick me under the age of 5. The cause of not sanitizing, over 500 of them died. You feel a joke thing this is a serious
out for us here on site. So you just saw there the video highlights for the 2021-2022 competition entries. So some very creative pieces there. We see the talented young people that are participating in this competition. And of course, they are part of our plan to create that sustainable future for Jamaica. Okay, so now we are ready. This time, for real this time, we're going to be going into the distribution of awards for persons in the respective categories. Now at this time, I'll invite Ms. Cavell Hilton to the platform to assist with the distribution of these awards. And we'll be starting with the tertiary category. Now in third place, we have Rashawn Stewart from the University of the West Indies Mona campus. Okay, in second place, we have Dejanelle Mullings from UWI Cave Hill campus. Okay, congratulations, Dejanelle. All right, so as I mentioned, we are regional, so the UWI Cave Hill campus is in Barbados. I love to see the regional representation. And now the first place awardee from the tertiary category, the Mario Patterson from UWI Mona campus. All right, so while Demario makes his way, give him his photo up. He's wearing a nice blue jacket there for persons who aren't seeing you missing out on the style up here, you know. All right. And he's being presented with a 15-inch laptop. Awesome. So congrats to all the awardees for the essay and oratory competition in the tertiary category. We now move to the secondary category. Now in third place, we have Tilaxi Gordon. So she's coming from St. Jago High, and she was supported by her teacher, Nicole Carr Walker. All right, congratulations, and thank you very much, Ms. Hilton, for assisting with the distribution. I'll now invite Mrs. Marcia Henry to assist with the other prizes. Okay, now in second place, we have Marisha Gale from St. Hilda's Diocesan High School. She was supported by her teacher, Shanake Huey. All right, and in first place in this category is Micah L. Magoo from Cornwall College. He was supported by his teacher, Kalia Bernard. All right, so congratulations to Micah L. Marisha and Tilaxi Gordon from the secondary school level. We now move to the primary level. In third place, Shader Green from Shetwood Memorial Primary. She was supported by teacher Vinette Webb. All right, in second place, we have Okeja Stevens, also from Shetwood Memorial Primary. All right, so Acacia also wins an EduFocal 3-month subscription. So big things are going. Yes, congratulations, Acacia. Second place at the primary level. All right, so I'm inviting the representative from EduFocal, Nicola Chambers, to assist with this presentation and for a photo op. All right, so on standby now we have first place going to Abigail Mundell. All right, and also from Chetwood Memorial Primary. So it's a clean sweep for Chetwood Memorial Primary in the primary school level for the essay and oratory competition. And of course, all three young ladies that you saw were supported by the teacher, Vinette Webb. So thank you, Ms. Webb, for your support of these young persons who are here to be a part of that sustainable development plan for Jamaica. So on stage now we have Abigail Mundell, the first place winner. Nice. Okay, so congratulations to all the awardees in the primary school level. And for the essay and oratory competition, congratulations to all persons from the tertiary, secondary, and primary school level. Please give them another round of applause. Now at this time we break, a quick intermission. We're going to hear from another one of our sponsors, Unicommer. So I'll invite Mrs. Leonie Martin Brown to bring some remarks on behalf of Unicommer.
Pleasant afternoon, everyone. Okay. Radio Shack has partnered with the Scientific Research Council because we believe in the use of technology to further the education of Jamaica's children. Through initiatives like the annual essay, oratory, performing arts, and poster competition, the Scientific Research Council inspires students to become interested in technology, innovation, and sustainability. As proud technology partners, Radio Shack is happy to be a part of opportunities that push STEAM, science, technology, engineering, arts, and mathematics, to not only help students develop promising careers, but also drive nation building. Unicommer is guided by three corporate pillars: social, economic, and environmental. All our commitments ensure that we constructively contribute in ways that advance Jamaica and Jamaicans under these broad headings. Through this partnership with the Scientific Research Council, it is our hope that students will become more interested in STEAM and actively seek out new ways to learn, do, and be more with the help of technology. Collectively, through continued support for technology and innovation, we can still help safeguard Jamaica's future and ensure sustainable development. At Radio Shack, I'm going to use this opportunity to plug in. We have month-long promotions, and we do offer extended warranty on select products. So one of our promotions is to sign up now and win a tablet at any of our nearest Radio Shack location, and no purchase is required. We have up to 40% off on select items, and we are a redemption point for OYOD devices for both students and teachers. So visit any of our locations in either Mandeville, which is Bankhouse Mall, Montego Bay, which is in Fairview, or Constant Spring, which is on Mall Plaza. Or visit any of our websites, social websites, at Radio Shack Jamaica on Facebook and Radio Shack Jam on Instagram. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mrs. Martin Brown from Unicom, and thank you for the support that you've given to the competition over the years. All right, so we're back to more awards now. We are now in the poster category, the poster competition category, and I'll invite the representative from Unicom, Mr. Anthony Goodall, to join on stage to present this prize. Oh, pardon me, Mr. Goodall. It's actually EduFocal first, so Ms. Nicola, and then followed by Mr. Goodall to present the first place. So yes, so Ms. Nicola Chambers from EduFocal. All right, so second place for the primary school level, Colleen Ebanks from Montego Bay Christian Academy. Yeah, she's doing her star walk as she makes her way to the platform. And her prize is being presented by EduFocal representative, Ms. Nicola Chambers. All right, and in first place for the primary school level of the poster competition is Okasia Stevens from Shetwood Memorial Primary. So Okasia also placed second in the essay and oratory competition, so full of talent. Congratulations, Okasia from Shetwood Memorial. Nice. She's posing with Mr. Goodall from Unicom. Congratulations, Helene and Okasia. So that was the primary school level. We're now in the secondary school level. In third place, and at this time I'll invite Mrs. Rose Miller to join on the platform. In third place, we have Jarvis Wood from Cornwall College, supported by teacher Lysandria Morgan. All right, congratulations, Mr. Wood. In second place, we have Janicia Ramsey from Montego Bay High School for Girls. All right, and in first place, we have Dujon Scott from the Cedar Grove Academy. And Dujon was supported by his teacher, Kimone Myers. Okay, congratulations to all three awardees in the secondary category, Jarvis Wood, Janicia Ramsey, and Dujon Scott. In the tertiary category, in third place, Roxanne Morris from the University of the Commonwealth Caribbean. In second place, Manika McLean from the University of Technology. And in first place, all the way from Cave Hill campus, Dejanelle Mullings. And she's the winner of the poster competition in the tertiary category. All right, so we say congratulations to all awardees in the poster section, the poster competition, in the primary, secondary, and tertiary levels. We now move to the performing arts competition. In the third place, we have Shanalda Campbell from Green Pond High, supported by her teacher Janice Ebanks. In second place, we have Kevonique Muir from Cambridge High. And the winner of the performing arts section in the secondary category, Jordan Forrester from Cornwall College. All right, Jordan is making his way. Awesome. Okay, congratulations, Jordan, Kevonique, and Shanalda Campbell from the secondary school level. They were the top three for the performing arts competition. Now, can we get one big round of applause for all the awardees? All right, and I'd like to say thanks to Mrs. Rose Miller, who assisted with the distribution of those awards, as well as Mr. Goodall from Unicomer, who assisted earlier. Now we are winding down the program, and at this time I'd like to invite Mr. Michael Koch, Assistant Regional Vice President for School Science and Technology Society at SRC, to deliver the vote of thanks and closing remarks. Okay, I apologize. It's actually going to be Ms. Gabrielle McLeod on his behalf.
All right, hello and good afternoon, everyone. I am so happy for you guys to have made it here, traveling from all walks across life and from all the different parts of Jamaica. Thank you for taking the time out to be here today to celebrate the innovation, the creativity of our nation's youth. And so, on behalf of Mr. Michael Koch, I would like to bring the vote of thanks. To our sponsors, EduFocal, for providing us with gift certificates to sustain the development of our nation's children, we say thank you. To Unicomer Jamaica, for providing us with laptops and different equipment to make sure that our different students would have the chance to develop themselves in their academic lives and to move forward. We thank you. We thank you to the parents and to the teachers that would have put in days and weeks of effort, making sure that their students were up to par and ready to participate in a competition of this caliber and in this style. To our venue and our location, to our technical teams, we want to thank you for the air-conditioned room, for the different aspects of the technology that have been put up that we can see our different sponsors and to see the nation's children. We say thank you. We want to say a special thank you to Dr. Pratap Singh for bringing such an educational and inspiring keynote address so that we can look forward to having our children be better communicators in science and to look forward to the sustainable development of Jamaica. And so on the behalf of the Scientific Research Council, we say thank you to Nationwide and to all our sponsors, and we thank you for coming out today. All right, and so without further ado, I would like to invite you to take part in our refreshments that are available to you at the back, but I'm going to ask that you move slowly. And thank you once again for taking the time out to come to the 2021-2022 Essay, Oratory, Performing Arts and Poster Competition. So I will invite my host back to the podium now for the recession.
Thank you very much, Ms. Gabriel McLeod. So, of course, we are at the end of the program. I'd like to thank you all for being such an amazing audience. Of course, congratulations to all our awardees in the respective categories. And, of course, to our sponsors, thank you so much for your support. Not going to repeat the vote of thanks, but, of course, had to add my 2 cents of gratitude as well. Now, I'd like to invite all the awardees to make their way to the stage before we do the refreshments, just to do a quick photo op along with the sponsors. So, sponsors and awardees, make your way to the platform, please. Inviting you to take photographs for the SRC, and for everyone else, you can now make your way to the back of the room to partake in the refreshments. So thank you very much for joining. My name is Brittany Clark. I was your moderator for today, and do have a wonderful, wonderful rest of the day. Also inviting the teachers to make their way to the platform as well for photographs. So teachers, sponsors, awardees,